Hey there, Posture guys and gals. Justin Archer here, aka the Posture Guy, your #1 source on pain, posture, and performance. And I am very, very excited to be doing this Ask TPG, obviously TPG, the Posture Guy, episode #1 with you. And this is something that I'd like to make a kind of a regular thing around here, whether it's through Google Hangouts or Hang With or Livestream or Ustream or any of those other live streaming platforms, and put them on Facebook and Twitter and on the postureguy.com website, whatever the case may be. Because, and we're going to get into the Q&A, trust me, that's what I'm here for, and I love Q&A. So part of it is a little guilty pleasure of my end. But the reason I want to do more Q&A is because I definitely believe in a time where we're in a world of just overwhelm of information. You know, there used to be a saying, content is king. Well, then context is God, because there's so much information coming at us. You know, I refer people to posts I've done or videos of other people, other experts, gurus, who I think are in the know. But I really believe that there's nothing better than true context. You ask a question, I answer it. And I love that dynamic, that back and forth, discussion, that conversation. So that way you can learn from me, I can learn from you, as well as if we put this information out on open forum via social media or similar like platforms, then, like I said, we can all benefit from it, rather than say, if you were to email me a question and then I emailed you back a lengthy but yet helpful response, and then it's just stuck in your inbox and a copy in my inbox. This way everybody gets to read it. All right? But don't worry, I do understand and respect that there are some things that you like to keep private. So I am still going to certain people who go through some of the various ways to contact me, there will still be a way to email me if need be. All right? But I'm really looking forward to taking this first step in a journey because, like I said, people's eyes and ears, they're not in email anymore. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. They're definitely right now a lot on Instagram, and that's where I want to be, is wherever you are, wherever your eyes, your ears, your attention is, and however I could best put together information that's valuable for you, solutions, then that's where I want to be. So if you can help me out with that and let me know, I'd be eternally grateful. All right. So anyways, we've got a lot to cover today. Not a lot of live questions I'm expecting today, because I'll admit, follow my sword, I just didn't do a great job promoting this. Been busy with a lot of other stuff behind the scenes, many of which you maybe who watch this replay will know. But there's a couple questions that I've had in the past couple of days and past week that I wanted to respond to in this Q&A Ask TPG premiere episode. All right, so we're gonna be going through those, a couple other things, a couple announcements, and as we do more of these, trust me, we'll hone it in. You can tell me what you like, what you don't like, and all that. And right now you're probably saying, all right, get to the question. So I will. Excuse me. This keeps me on track so I don't go off on too many tangents. So we already went over the why I'm doing this. Is this really, I think, to benefit everyone, as well as, I get well over 100 emails a day, not necessarily all pertaining to the postureguy.com products, services, the Optimize Self workshop / course, but other things that we all get, junk mail and things like that. And I mean, I look right now at it. Actually, can I do a share screen? I'm not going to bother with that, but you'll have to take my word for it. I'm looking right now in my inbox, 5,133 messages, 1,775 unread. Now, don't worry, I have some rules in place so I don't miss your messages and notifications, emails, and all that stuff, but I think it's safe to say it's just crazy in there. So also, that'll help me take a little bit of load off. Plus, I think this way interacting is more fun, right? Than simply shooting emails back and forth. It's more interactive, it's more engaging. Again, everybody can learn from it, and it frees up some frees up some time that I could be working on some awesome content and products and services for you. All right. So that's the why. The how is still a little unclear. We may do this Google Hangouts, there's Spreecast, Hang With. There's Twitter chats and Google Moderator, all of that. I'm going to be letting people know, my email list and Facebook and followers everywhere, more about that in the coming days and weeks. So stay tuned. All right, but let's get to the questions. So one, actually a video of mine that I've seen get pretty popular in the last couple of weeks has been the video about Swayback versus Lordosis, and I've gotten a slew of questions about that. Hey Justin, you know, I think I have Swayback, but I may have Lordosis, or I may have both. I'm not really sure. So I will try to, in a post or in the links, make sure in the show notes below, I guess as they call them, link to that post if I remember. If I don't, please remind me, and I will do so. But basically, you can check out the post through that link. But really quick, let me go over the difference between Swayback and Lordosis. Okay, I'm going to pan the camera down here. Excuse me. Let me back up a little bit. So Lordosis is the extreme curvature of your lower back. Let me see if I can get a little bit more 90 degrees there for you. Yeah, there we go, perfect. So that would be lordosis, right? You have this anterior pelvic tilt where the front of your pelvis is lower towards the ground than the back of your pelvis, and there's a extreme curvature in your lower back. Okay, that would be lordosis. Now, Swayback, let me see if I can get here. So if here's my hip, okay, and here's my shoulder, right, this would be normal, and this would be Swayback, where now my shoulder presents posterior or behind the hip. That's it, easy peasy. So you can have both, right? So I can have lordosis and have Swayback, or I can have just lordosis, right? Or I could just have Swayback. So it could be any combination of those, but hopefully that is a quick visual to kind of clear things up for you, all right? Because like I said, I've gotten a lot of questions, especially a lot of comments on the YouTube video itself, so hopefully that helps everyone there. In particular, there was something, oh, one was the username Paul Ma. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So Paul Ma, hopefully that helps you as well as everyone else. I see that a lot of people had questions about the lordosis versus Swayback or vice versa. So moving on, it kind of brings me to another video I've been getting a lot of comments on, which is the hamstrings. You know, being able to touch your toes without stretching your hamstrings. And I know some people may be like, huh? Like I always thought that flexibility has to do with your hamstrings. Well, some of it does, but a lot of it has to do with the mobility in your hip, as well as if there's any myofascial tightness, knots elsewhere in your body, maybe your upper back or your shoulders. And so on that post, and again, I'll try to remember to link to it down below, but you know, we're a team here. I need you, if I forget something, just slap me upside the head and say, hey, Justin, remember you were going to link this thing below, and I will. But in that post, it shows you a couple, I think 3 or 4 exercises you can do, none of which stretch your hamstring. Yet, if you do a before and after test of trying to touch your toes, you should notice that you can touch your toes or at least get closer to them after doing those exercises. All right. And a lot of people will say they have a difficulty doing so, and we have this little conversation. I even wrote it down, right? So example, posture guy or gal will write, my hamstrings are tight, and I'll say something like, you know, have you tried the exercise routine in the video post that you comment on, right? That they asked me for help, and they say no. I said, okay, we'll try it, and then keep me posted. Let me know how it goes, and if you need any other help. And then they'll ask another question pertaining to how do they loosen them up, and again I ask, you know, have you done the exercise routine? Again, they say no. So I don't know how to say this without sounding mean. I hope you don't take it the wrong way, but if I ever suggest an exercise routine or a lifestyle change or something, it's not just for fun. Trust me, I hear myself talk enough. It's truly because it's what I believe. It's if you were in front of me in person, it's what I would tell you. I'm just simply giving you linking to a video or some exercises that I've already made, so that way it's more convenient for you. All right. So before asking another question pertaining to your same problem, do the thing that I suggest first, because maybe that's it. Maybe that's simple enough to correct, you know, the problem, the barrier, the obstacle that you're currently dealing with. And as anybody who's read my stuff knows, I'm definitely a believer in the minimum effective dose. If all it takes is those 3 or 4 exercises that I mentioned in the video, and you get the results you want, then why do more, right? Easy peasy. So moving on. Oh, I also wanted to give a shout out to Dean Conley from YouTube. Dean, how's it going? He wrote, hi Justin, I just want to let you know how I got on with the stretches since I last commented on your video. I wanted to try the first exercise / stretch first and see how I got on. And I must say, after doing the first stretch every morning for a week, my shoulders are pretty level now. That's awesome, Dean. I just want to say thanks, man. You're welcome. And can you follow me on Twitter so I can DM, for those of you that know, direct message you the before and after photo? And yes, Dean, I have. So you should be able to send me those photos. And that goes for anyone else, you know. Again, I know most people aren't looking their emails. You know, everybody's on social media. We're communicating as a species differently now, and it happened really quick. So some people aren't catching on as quickly. It took me a while, right? I'm a little slow. But yeah, you know, people ask me questions about their posture just with text, and sometimes you can be descriptive, and I can kind of get what you're saying. But especially with postural alignment therapy being so visually based, I need pictures, or better yet, a video, because you know, pictures are worth 1,000 words, or video is worth even, you know, millions. So use something like Twitter or Instagram or YouTube to send me, or at least link to, pictures of your posture. Or if it's a movement you're having difficulty with, then definitely video would be best, and then just send me the link. And if you have any questions on how to do that, how to set that up, you know, just contact me, and I'd love to help. You know, technology is a wonderful thing if used correctly. All right. So, Dean, thanks again, man. That was awesome. I'm glad you benefited from the exercise. Anything else I can do, just let me know. Oh, I also wanted to comment on day 425. For those of you that don't know, you're like, what's 425? That is the number of consecutive videos I've done. These are short videos, usually 30 seconds or less. Lately, they've been 1 to 2 minutes that I do every day, and for now almost 430 consecutive days. This was about 5 days ago, and it was called Rejuvenating Your Adrenals. Again, I'll try to link to it down below. And this one I'm actually going to screen share with you, because there was definitely one, if not 2 people who had a question and a follow-up question that I wanted to get to. So give me 1 second here. I gotta figure out where that screen share was. Here it is. Awesome. All right. Screen. All right. You know what? Let's just do the whole screen, and we'll share. Sorry for that crazy matrix of windows. All right. So here's the original video that I put up, right? Called Rejuvenating Your Adrenals. And it was actually a screencast of an Instagram that I put up that said 1 cup of water plus ½ cup of teaspoon Himalayan sea salt equals refresh and rejuvenated adrenals. And I posted this because for about half a week, between half a week and a week, I was taking a break from all caffeine and trying to refresh and rejuvenate my adrenals. Last month, as many of you know, we did the Optimizing Your Hydration Hangout, which researching and putting everything together, learned a lot about hydration and salt. So I wanted to share that with everyone. And you know, after I posted this, Sean Vosen, hopefully Sean, I'm pronouncing that correctly, said, you know, that would be over 1,000 milligrams of sodium in one hit. I usually keep my sodium to 1,000 to 1,500 for the day. Is this salt water really healthy and beneficial? Maybe at that saturation it isn't all metabolized. I'm curious what rejuvenating effects this has on adrenals. I feel like I burnt out my adrenals from years of caffeine addiction. Sean, you're definitely not alone in that. Now I do coffee no more than once a week, so I'm definitely interested in how this might work. Thanks as always. And then I wrote back, and I said 20 lines. It's not actually really long. I just spaced everything out so it's easy to find for Sean. I said, keep in mind that we're talking about salt, not to be confused with sodium. Yes, they are different. And check out the sources, one of which was I linked to this podcast from Bulletproof Exec. This guy did a lot of experimenting with salt. It's a great podcast. If you want to go over to this video and find it, you probably just go to my YouTube channel, search for Day 425, and it'll pop up. And also water, natural salt, not sodium first, and then diet and exercise in that order, by Dr. B. He has a really crazy long last name. A lot of people refer to him as Dr. Batman or Dr. B. You can find him at watercure.com, as well as, well, pretty much there. And he's on various social media platforms and sites. But yeah, watercure.com. And I said, take care, keep optimizing yourself each and every day. And then the 1 minute a day, which I don't know if that's Sean Vosen by another username or if that's someone else, actually said, thanks for the reply. I'm diving into content now, but in all fairness, instead of digesting this 35-minute podcast and 2-hour video, yes, the one by Dr. B is a long video, perhaps you could shed a little light on it in your famously concise manner. Thank you for the compliment, 1 minute a day. If that is also you too, Sean, maybe a video response so you can help others and not just me. Thanks as always. Well, this is kind of that video response, and I definitely get where 1 minute a day is coming from. And a lot of people see my videos, they know that I have a lot of metaphors and analogies and similes and stories to connect things and simplify certain things. But contrary to popular belief, just as my wife, I don't know everything, and there's certain things that I hadn't quite figured out. And when I wrote this, I was still in the early stages of knowing the connection of salt. I've digested a little bit more and thought it over a little bit more now that I think I can give a better answer. But at the time, I thought, let me refer out to people who know more about the through salt intake and how it affects positively or negatively your health, to these two sources, which I learned a great deal, an immense amount about. So that's why I put them there. Trust me, if I have a shorter way of answering something, I will. So 1 minute a day, if I were to answer it now in the shortest and concise way, I would say that hydration is important. You want to shoot for half your body weight in ounces of water. But if you're not having enough salt, again, not to be confused with sodium, and I would definitely recommend Himalayan pink salt. Celtic sea salt is good too, but Himalayan pink salt that's where the money's at. If you're not having enough salt in your diet, then I kind of think of salt as the taxi cab, or let's say nowadays Uber, of water. It gets water to where it should be, where it's needed the most, whether it's in between your vertebra, right, in the disc, or in your joints, or in your brain, or wherever it needs to go. There's also a lot of other benefits about salt, but you can watch that elsewhere. You can listen to and watch them in these two, in the podcast, in the video. So there's definitely a lot to go over. Excuse that little chime there. But that's how I would say it now. Back then, I didn't really have that down, that understanding of it. So that's why I'll link to sources, and I always will. There's certain things I know a lot of, and I feel very comfortable saying something a certain way, because not only do I think it, but I know it and I believe it because I've tested on myself, and many other people I've worked with, and I've seen the benefits of something. If I'm not a little unsure, I'm definitely going to refer out to people who know more than me on that subject. So hope you understand on that. Let me go back here to the camera. Sorry again for this weird look here. Oh, did I come back? All right, there we go, and I'm back. All right, so moving on. So that